I'm Mint Salad and I saw The Santa Claus. It is directed by John Paskin and I'm in the North Pole right now. It is really cold. Remarkably, it is the warmest it's ever been at the North Pole. Lucky me. My previous exposure to this movie, I remember seeing bits and pieces of it, particularly the scene where Santa falls off the roof. I remember seeing that scene a couple of times growing up, but I never actually sat and watched the movie. The movie starts with following Scott Calvin. He's a guy. Well, I'm back inside because it's cold. It's too cold outside in the North Pole. So anyway, now we're following Scott Calvin. He's a dad. He has a son, and it turns out the dad works too much. Who knew? A guy who works too much doesn't have a great relationship with his son. But it does turn out that one night, Scott Calvin is just, Scott Calvin-ing around when he's talking to his son. Is Christmas real? Spirit of Christmas. They're having a whole debate about that. And, Santa up on the roof. We hear Santa on the roof. Let's go investigate. Let's go outside. So Scott Calvin, he just, goes outside. And then he yells at Santa, right? And then Santa falls down. At this point, I'm like, Santa, why do you not have better boots? Why are you not stuck to the roof? Because I feel like as Santa Claus who is overweight and your job is to be on roofs which are going to be icy, that you should prepare yourself more for the job at hand, the task at hand. But no, you're just gonna wear like the worst shoes ever. You're gonna slip off the roof, you're gonna fall, and you're just gonna land in the flower bed, die, and then disappear. And now it turns out that Scott Calvin has the clothes. It's also, this is a tragedy. I say this is a tragedy because this is the only time, I guess this block of time, that Scott Calvin has visitation rights to his son because his ex-wife are divorced. And it's like, oh no, Scott Calvin is not suitable. Want to know why? Because looks like the kid has made up some things about riding Santa's sleigh and being Santa. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that he takes up the mantle of being Santa after just seeing the guy dead. He wasn't about to take it, but luckily the kid's like, yo, no, we need you to be Santa. What would happen to the other kids out there? But I'm glad that the kid is considerate. And the way that the sled just goes from house to house in the most, what seems to be the most time-consuming way possible. It's like, how can Santa possibly go to every house in one night? How? And then the world, and the entire world, and he keeps it organized? Santa Claus, I want your organization system. I guess it's just a bunch of elves. But everyone thinks that Scott Calvin is crazy, including his wife. Thinking your Santa Claus is not healthy for you. Okay, thanks. You know what also isn't healthy? Divorcing your husband. The ex-wife is like, I'm so concerned. I'm so worried for his well-being. But it's like, you're not. You want to know why? Because you divorced him. The fact that you were like, this is only assumption, because it doesn't actually say in the movie how she felt towards breaking off with him. It was more like, I just think she's like, I don't think we're right for each other. Things are going bad, and instead of dealing with problems, I want to split up. So Scott Calvin is deemed to be a bad influence by the ex-wife. He's getting fatter. He's eating more sweets. He's turning slowly more and more into Santa Claus. I really like the parts where it's just showing more and more of his transformation into Santa Claus, especially since he can literally shave at the beginning of the day and grow hair like lickety split, and then like he has a full beard. It's a hilarious like transformation scene from like clean shaven to entirely covered in hair. I was like, oh man. First I could see the transition, but also it's just like a really funny idea. But anyway, he eventually embraces the fact that he is, in fact, Santa Claus. But because he insists he's Santa Claus, people around him are like, you know what? You don't deserve happiness. We want you gone. No. You're not, no, haha, you're not allowed to see your child. No way, Jose. And I'm just like, dude, that type of logic is like, if I identified as, let's say Santa Claus is an identity and a profession. What if my identity and profession was a librarian? And I really insisted that I really liked reading them books. Like, so much so, like, I just kept telling you, read the books, all the book knowledge. Would you take away my custody rights because I kept telling my child, hey, you gotta read the books. We're in the book world. Let's go through book time and book space. We're gonna be booking it to everywhere, everything, everywhere, all at once. You know, is it like that? It does come down for Scott Calvin to eventually stand up as his rightful duty as Santa Claus, and he's doing all the Santa Claus things. He's eating the cookies, he's drinking the milk, and he has like all the Santa Claus things remembered. It's like the first night when they first traveled via eight flying reindeer in a sled. It's a pretty cool moment. I like the reindeer. The reindeer look soft. I don't like their diets though. It doesn't seem like they're very healthy. But I'm not a reindeerologist. I don't study reindeer. I just hopefully dear to my heart that it rains more. I gotta be honest here. The rest of the movie is very much, I only remember that Scott Calvin saves Christmas to Santa and does regain his custody. So okay, first of all, you take away custody of a child because this man really thinks, he insists that he is in fact Santa Claus, even though there's people saying you're not in fact Santa Claus. So they're like, oh, he's insane clearly. But then when he's proven to be Santa Claus, oh, let's just totally forget about all of this. Yeah, this was okay, guys. He's the true Santa Claus. He can visit his kids any time he wants. That's pretty much how it ends. Scott Calvin gets to see his kid again, and wow, Christmas time. I like the structure of how this movie starts on, like, near Christmas, then the year progressing up to Christmas on, like, how Scott Calvin changes. He gets real fat, real big, real Santa Claus-like. And also it's the fact that we got the spirit of Christmas within the child, and that is a good thing. The Christmas spirit is a-okay. I'm a big old fan of it. I'm so glad that Santa does exist within Scott Calvin, which I realize is SC Santa Claus. Scott Calvin, did you get that before I did? I really like the sets though, especially the outside set where we see Santa Claus fall to his death and there's a bunch of snow. That was pretty. I quite enjoyed it. It was very pretty. And the amount of lights, I was like, wow, I can't believe it. I want that many lights. But it's okay, I guess. I like the fact that Scott Calvin gets a deeper relationship with his son. The son was really wishing to talk to his dad more, and that's what he got. Like, after he accidentally kills Santa Claus and inherits his abilities unwittingly, he first is like, I don't want to do it, but then he's like, I will do it. He saves time and space and Christmas spirit forever. And I think that is a truly blessed thing. We should all praise Scott Calvin for saving Christmas for everyone in the world, everywhere. Scott Calvin, you do a really good service for humanity, and I think you should be given an award. It's called a Christmas Award, where the award is a bunch of Christmas trees. And if you need Christmas trees, I mean, Christmas trees are useful any time of the year, because if you need to burn them for heat, then you can do that. So that's your award. Thank you, Scott Calvin, for saving Christmas. I don't really got much else to say about this movie. It was okay. It wasn't too memorable, but I do remember just seeing this movie a lot. It was just on a lot, so I did see it a lot, but nothing like stuck to my brain. I'm like, oh, I remember seeing part of this scene, but not the rest of the scene. So it's okay in rememberability, but it was pretty endearing, and I'm glad that there's a father-son connection there. And so I gotta give this movie a solid 6.8 out of 10. If you like this review, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know. The ultimate goal of this channel is for me to become an expert movie reviewer, so if I haven't reviewed it on the channel, there's a chance I haven't even seen it at all. If you'd like to request a movie in the comments below, you can do that. Or you can fast track a movie request at patreon.com/ASEpresents for $20 a month for one movie review per 1 month. Or some occasional how to draw Pokemons for my ultimate how to draw all the Pokemon's Pokedex challenge, draw challenge. So go there, that is first access to those on my patreon.com/ASEpresents. And if you'd like to help support the daily grindiness of these movie reviews, you can go to this link tree. It really helps the daily grind of all these daily movie reviews, so go here. And until next time, I'm Mint Salad. See you later, my salad croutons and bacon bits.